Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today to unpack the pod. We are going to unpack the pod because we really don't have a lot of pods under our belt because your girl is being consistent. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. But I also really want to thank all my new subbies. You guys are making me so happy. Anyone who has not subscribed, please do. It is absolutely free of charge and it makes me so happy. I appreciate you guys. Welcome to the beautiful people family. All right, you guys. First and foremost, before I forget, Ice had on a short set. I just got to get that out real quick, okay? Because I was just like, what this motherfucker got on? Is that a short set? And that was so good. I want to buy him a short set. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that. And if you know, you know. That was a Beyonce reference. But yeah, I can't believe he wore he's the worst dresser ever. Him and Mark and Joe. I mean, just terrible. But let's finish with Ice. Let's talk about Ice a little bit more and the fact that he is just so sensitive like a little bitch. I was just about to call him a little bitch. I'm not going to call him a little bitch. I'm going to say he's sensitive like a bitch. We gonna say it that way. I feel like that's nicer. But yeah, they got to making fun of him as they always do. And of course he gets mad. And what pisses me off about Ice getting mad is that he is always the first to try to pile on. If somebody is joking on somebody, he has some more to say, to add on to the jokes. But when someone says something about him and then don't let it be two or more, he's really crying. I mean, crying. So I'm skipping ahead, but they were talking about losers at graduations, and he said something like he was first. They said, "Oh, okay, you were valedictorian." No, so Joe ends up asking him where he went to college, but what he majored in, and he stuttered. So they made fun of it or whatever. And he's like, "You motherfuckers over there can't say nothing because Imani, where'd you go to school at? Where'd you go to school? You didn't graduate. Okay, calm your ass down. Like, it's just really not that serious." And then he proceeds to lie. And I'm sorry, Ice was lying. I not even gonna say allegedly. Ice was lying, saying that he didn't go to college because he didn't finish college because he got a job and was making good money. Mark said, "Okay, well, how much were you making?" 35,000. And I'm sorry, 35,000 is not a lot. However, back then when he was 18, he was not 18 making 35,000. He's a fucking liar. He just didn't want to be like, yeah, I was at the Gap or somewhere. Because if you were 18, then you definitely left college when you were a freshman. So stop saying you went to college. Like, stop saying you even went to college, really. So we just gonna get rid of Ice, okay? He's done. All right, you guys, now we move and we unpack the pod. I just had to get Ice out the way because I didn't want to forget about his short set because that pissed me off every time I looked at him. All right, so we start off where, of course, we're talking about the Roots picnic and Jigga. And so he starts playing Jay-Z. And they were like, whose side you on, whose side you on? So he's playing Jay-Z. And, of course, Parks is talking over the intro as usual. Parks just refused to shut the fuck up. But anyway, they get to breaking down the lyrics of the freestyle and everything. They broke it down for a long time. That's cool. Then we have Joe being a complete hypocrite, as he usually is, saying that he, doesn't want Jay-Z and Drake to have a beef because, he's just tired of that. And I'm like, wasn't it just a few weeks ago, a month or so ago, where like he's always said, oh my God, beef is so hip hop, it's so needed, and now all of a sudden I'm sick of beef. Get the fuck out of here, Joe. And then he's like, yeah, I knew Jay-Z was lying during that GQ interview when he said that, you got to be bigger than beef and rap shouldn't be, or hip hop shouldn't have beef anymore, whatever, Joe. So by the end of the show, they changed him around to where, yeah, you do want beef. And I think he just be talking. Joe just be talking and be talking. But yeah, Jay-Z did an amazing job. He's my fave. Love him down. And when I first saw the clips of the Roots picnic, and he came out with number one, the locks gone, yay. And I never thought Jay-Z was unattractive. So for people like, oh, he cut the locks, so he's attractive now, whatever. I've never thought he was unattractive. Actually, I saw him in the Hard Knocks Life video, you know, years and years and years ago. And the way that he interacted with one of the kids, or actually all the kids, it was one in particular though, I was just like, oh, he's going to be such a great dad. And I was right. And to me, that was attractive. But yeah, so we break it down. But when he came out and then he pointed and we started with dun, 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 dun. Oh my God, when I say I screamed, I screamed. But yeah, it was a great freestyle. It was a great concert, I'm assuming, from what I saw, all the clips, and we moved from that. We moved from that to Diddy tape, you guys. So I did not see any of the Diddy tape. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see clips. I didn't see any of it because once I found out what was on there, I had zero interest in seeing. Like, I am not interested in Diddy's little peen. I'm not. However, Joe was. Joe spent a very long time joking on his peen and making all kind of comments and Joe, like, it was a long time to me and it made me uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I don't have a problem with gay people. I'm not saying Joe is gay, but I'm not even saying he's bi. But it was very weird that he wanted to talk about his penis and lack thereof and how short and little it was for a very long time. And it was to the point where the guys were up there, they were laughing, but then after a while, they looked uncomfortable. Like, okay, can we let it go? They even went on to talk about Daphne Joy, and he circled back to the penis. And Imani even had to say, okay, can we get back to Daphne? And he's like, oh, yeah, Daphne. But what I loved about it was that he tried to wrap it up. After all this disrespect, he attempted to wrap it up with, oh, yeah, but Diddy, the guy ain't never been nothing but nice to me. And then the guys were like, don't even try it just because he'll be out soon. And no, you just said a whole lot of flagrant stuff, and he absolutely did. So yeah, don't let him off the hook because Joe be giving it up like crazy on the pod, saying all kind of shit. And then as soon as somebody meet him on the street, they learn him. Is that what he say? They learn him? Yeah. So Diddy's gonna learn him when he get out. He gonna see about Joe, I'm sure. And Megan, I wish Megan would see him on the street because I guarantee you he would come back changing his tune about her. Anytime he meets somebody in person, he never keeps that same energy. So we'll see if he ever meets Megan. I would love to hear what happens with that. But yeah, speaking of Daphne Joy, so she ends up putting out a statement saying that, she was abused and she felt so bad looking at the tape because she just wanted to go and hold that former little girl. Girl, no, you were a grown-ass woman, number one. Number two, you was doing it for money. Number three, you were just on the stand saying how much you still love this man. So clearly he is not paying your rent anymore. My whole issue with her is she has no concern for her son, which I'll say allegedly of that because that's kind of rude to say. But I will say the stuff that she's doing will come back to really embarrass him. Even her coming out saying right after she's doing questions and she's like, does size matter? And it's like, girl, you just don't care about being objectified. That is pretty much all you want your legacy to be, is you and sex. Come on, think about your kids, seriously. Also, I can't believe this girl still has that same hairstyle. I can't believe you kept that side swoop that gave you away at the goddamn trial. I can't believe you are still wearing that as if it's super cute. It's not bad looking, don't get me wrong, and she's a pretty girl or lady, woman, whatever you want to call her, but I wouldn't still have that same hairstyle. I'm sorry. That shit was a dead giveaway, and I would be too embarrassed to keep it. And so while they're talking about the tape, they were talking about how it's technically revenge porn, which it is. And Imani said that that's fucked up because, it's giving people a bad name who wants to record, and just keep it for themselves. And then he looks at the camera with this smile or whatever. And then he said that he just sent a dick pic to somebody and he's hoping that it leaks or whatever. And I'm just like, dude, you're never beating the allegations. And it's like 1 minute you don't want people to see you as this huge man whore, and then the second minute you want everybody to know that you're out there and you get around. Like, which one is it? Which one is it, Emmanuel? Because we don't know. Okay, you gonna come on the pod crying next week because of the way people make you look? No, you actually join in. Like, you give that narrative a whole lot of life. All right, let's cover a couple things real quick before we get out of here. So they did this thing where it was technically playing the quiet game, and Ish couldn't do it. Ish couldn't shut up. They were talking about songs, and Joe was like, "Don't say anything until I get to a song that you like or whatever." And Ish could not shut the fuck up. Like, he just couldn't. And they kept trying to explain to him how to play it. He didn't get it. He couldn't be quiet. None of them really can. So there was that. Mark won Potter of the Month. Joe said this was actually his worst month ever, besides when he was doing Ramadan. And he was for real. Joe was for real. And Ish didn't want to chain him, so they were clowning Ish. Ish really has been in a really shitty mood. Like, he's coming in there no nonsense. He's coming in there guns blazing. He's really going after Joe. He's been really going after Flip. Well, not even going after Flip, just not paying Flip no attention, really. They had a lady up there last week. Well, no, it was actually the beginning of this week. I can't remember her name, but she was someone that used to work with mail and etc. And she was up there pretty much critiquing them for how they handled the Meg and whatever his name split. Yeah, and Ish did not like her at first. Like, he was really, really rude. And she was like getting them together. She really was. I liked her at first, but then later on it was just like, okay, girl. She just became very braggadocious. And I don't like that. It was just like, oh, and me, and me, and me. Girl, okay, calm down. But yeah, he was just in a mood recently. So I don't know what's going on with him. I would be like Flip and be like, is everything all right at home? Flip is so ignorant. He be having the most issues at home, asking everybody, is everything all right at home? Anyway, I think that's it, you guys. Again, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.